Okay, thank you for your cooperation. See, now I'm going to present the third chapter. We will discuss the third chapter, that is a formulation of JetBus. So for any new topic or for any new concept, it is mandatory to know the importance of that particular topic. Okay, that may be the topic or concept, whatever it may be, but it is very, very important to know the importance. Why do we have this particular chapter, that is JetBus formulation? What is the need for uh, having JetBus in power system analysis? That is also very important. Okay, just wait a moment. I will text this. JetBus formulation, right? What is the need? Why we require the formation of JetBus? The first and see, particularly we are talking this JetBus formulation in this power system concepts. Why? Because most of the power systems are seriously affected for the fault currents. Okay, with the fault current, so high amount of fault currents are trying to flow in our circuit. Obviously, your system may gets damaged. So how to avoid that fault currents means you do have so many methods to reduce the fault current. So we will have protection devices like circuit breakers, okay, for fuses, etc. All these are protection equipments which are available. But what is the first and foremost factor that is going to be affected when occurrence of a particular type of fault? That fault may be either three-phase fault, or it may be either line to ground fault, or it may be either line to line fault. Whatever may be the fault that is occurring in your power system, what is the first parameter that is going to be changed? So obviously everyone knows that. So V is equal to I into Z. Is it not? V is equal to I into Z. Now, what is the relationship between the fault current and impedance? Obviously, there is an inverse relationship. So Z is inversely proportional to 1 by I. That means whenever I is going to be increased means the impedance is going to be reduced. Okay. So if we keep on increasing this impedance means obviously there may be a chance of getting reduced current. That is the close relationship between impedance and fault current. So whenever impedance has been changed, it means obviously there exists a fault current. So fault current has been increased. So high amount of fault current is trying to flow in your circuit means obviously that circuit or that power system contains very less voltage, I mean less impedance or low impedance. Okay. Almost the current is trying to flow in a low resistance path. We already know that. So that's why for a short circuit path, obviously the resistance of that particular short circuit path is equal to 0. So that's why V for a short circuit, ISC is there, VOC, V is equal to 0. Why? Because our resistance is almost is negligible. The resistance is almost negligible. So that is the importance of formulate the JetBus before going to study the fault analysis in power system subject, right? See, this is an important parameter that see the formation of JetBus is also very, very important. Okay, in later stages, we are also having the formulation of JetBus using JetBus building algorithm. So like admittance matrix, already we have formed admittance matrix in the first chapter number 1. So that too with the use of direct inspection method, and second one is using singular transformation. So as far as these two methods are considered, singular transformation and direct inspection methods are considered. Singular transformation is quite complex when compared with the direct inspection method. So my sincere suggestion is you directly take the direct inspection method for determining the Y bus. So again, we are using the same concept for determination of this Z bus also. Now we are going to see, please take a look at this. So we already know that what we already know that is equal to, so this is obtained from singular transformation of Y bus. So J bus is equal to Y bus y bus multiplied by v bus. Okay, so j bus is equal to y bus into v bus. See, this already we get from singular transformation. Singular transformation. So from this we can also obtain. So v bus is equal to y bus whole inverse into j bus. Is it not? So j bus. Now this can be written as z bus into j bus. So this is equation number 1. See, everything already we have seen in the previous classes. So this first step is obtained directly from the singular transformation of formation of admittance matrix. So from that, obviously I can take this y bus to this side. Obviously, y bus from y bus to the left hand side, or this becomes y bus whole inverse multiplied by j bus. So this y bus inverse can be written as j bus into z bus into j bus, right? So this is equation number 1, where so z bus is equal to inverse of y bus. Y bus inverse. Okay. So this is how you are going to obtain z bus. So many of you are having some doubts, sir. Already we have seen how to form the y bus. So shall we obtain z bus from y bus? Yes, definitely you can also obtain. But the conceptualization is different when compared with z bus formulation and y bus formulation. That you think you have to remember. See, this is chapter number 3. I have started the new chapter. Chapter number 3 is formulation of z bus. Okay, so you should know all these concepts. Only within 2 to 3 classes I shall be able to complete this third chapter also. So whenever I completed this third chapter, I will give you the material regarding chapter number 1, 2, 3. Okay, you please practice. See, this is my notes are my material. What I am giving you is only for your reference, not for the preparation. Okay, so my notes will be helpful to you to get boost up. You please try to follow some textbooks for preparing this particular subject. Already I told you the regarding this subject textbooks also. Please go through that. Okay. So Z bus is equal to Y bus inverse. Now current injection method. So this current injection method is also related to this Z bus formation. Current injection method. So how do we form the Z bus? Okay. Now make this as equation number 1. Already we have noted the equation number 1. Next. So equation 1 can be written in expanded form. Please note down. Equation 1 can be written in expanded form. Now what is a J bus? J bus contains all the current vectors. So V bus contains all the voltage vectors. Z bus contains the Z. So if we expand that one, obviously V1 is equal to Z11 multiplied by I1 plus Z12 multiplied by I2 plus Z13 multiplied by I3 okay plus Z1n multiplied by IN. So this is the first voltage vector, that is V1. So now from this you can directly say that V bus is nothing but voltage vectors, and Z bus is nothing but the Z bus elements. Similarly, J bus contains all the current vectors. So if you clearly write the second equation, obviously you will get Z21 multiplied by I1 plus Z22 multiplied by I2 plus Z23 multiplied by I3 and etc. up to Z2n In. So this is for the second algebraic equation. Suppose if you are repeating up to the last voltage vector, you will get Vn is equal to Zn1 into I1 plus Zn2 into I2 Zn3 into I3 and so on up to Zn into In. Is it okay? So as per current injection method, so we are getting, so these many algebraic equations that can be directly obtained from equation number 1. Okay. So from the above generalized equation, we can also write down Zij is equal to Vi by Vij. Zij is equal to Vi by Ij, where I1 is equal to. So I think already all of you know about the two-port networks. So in the case of two-port networks, we have derived the Z parameters, Y parameters, A, B, C, D parameters, and H parameters also. Okay. So out of all those parameters, now in this particular chapter, we are going to focus on Z parameters to determine. So we already know the Z parameters, Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22, etc. All these things. So in this particular case, if you compare or if you take the generalized form, this you may get Zij is equal to Vi by Ij. So where I1 is equal to I2 is equal to, at a time we are not going to short circuit and we are not going to open circuit. In case number 1, if you short circuit one port, obviously you will get two parameters. If case 2, if you short the another port, you will get another two parameters. So already we know that Y parameters are short circuited parameters. So Z parameters are open circuited parameters. So this is the basic difference. Now in this case also, again, we are going to have the same open circuit parameters just by keeping only one port at open circuit in one case. I2 is equal to and so on up to In is equal to 0. So similarly, please do remember that Ij should not be equal to 0. Why? Because if Ij is equal to 0, obviously that parameter is going to be infinity. So this is equation number 2. So this is equation number 2. So already we know that Z bus is a symmetrical matrix. So Z bus is a symmetrical matrix. So we can also write down this Zij is equal to Zji. So Zi is equal to Zji. Why? Because that impedance matrix is a symmetrical matrix. So from equation number 2, if a current is injected at bus number or a node J, while other buses are kept open circuited. So just now I told you that. So whenever you are going to determine the parameters of Z, you must keep one port as an open circuit to obtain two parameters, and you must keep another port as an open circuited to get another two parameters. Okay, so likewise we are going to get jet bus. Likewise we are going to get jet bus. So this is about the formulation of jet bus. Okay. I'm sorry for concluding the session today itself. Why? Because uh, so many updates are there. Suddenly my system may be shut down. So I'm really very sorry. Next class we shall continue by considering one problem based on this. Do you have any, do you have any doubts regarding today's topic? Why? Because now I'm going to conclude this. I'm going to end the session now.